Small potatoes.
where we give you a naughty tease of our latest Patreon episode.
Be sure to subscribe. Links are in the description. Welcome back to Muse on the Mic. I'm Riley.
I'm Emily. Thanks again for joining us on a fabulous episode of Muse on the Mic. We've got a very special one today, and we want to say Happy New Year to everyone from Muse on the Mic to y'all.
Happy
Riley, what are we
New
doing
Year.
today?
We are going to do a recap on season 2. It has flown by, but it's come to an end. So we have some highlights to share with you guys, and we are going to see you in season 3. When are we kicking off season 3, Em?
January 6th.
January 6th. We'll see you guys January 6th.
We'll see you then, everyone.
Y'all, where's your massage parlor at? Where's it? Where you guys located?
We're in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, six.
Yes,
That's
yes,
six. Yes.
That's fire.
Drake
So do y'all
Central.
do everything there? Everything. So tell me about the massage. I want to hear. I'm sorry. I know your fans know about it, but
So we
I'm not.
we are a licensed and legal body rub parlor. So we are licensed and allowed to do what we do. All of our staff are licensed. There's 25 legal parlors in the state.
And I know you have a story on this because
Well,
not everyone.
it's so funny. So before I jump into the second part of this message, because there's a second portion to it, it was about a week ago. I was training a new girl. And I like to, after I've trained them, check in with them on their first shift and just say, like, so how did it go? Do you have any questions? And I died with her response. So she said to me, she said, oh, hey guys, welcome back to Just the Tip with Riley. Today we're talking about, and no, not blowjobs. We're talking about ejaculation and semen. Actually, you know what? I think I need to put my hair up for this one. So while most men equate swallowing to a devotion or a loyalty or love, it's not the case, guys. It comes down to taste and quality of semen. And I know most of you have heard before you can improve the quality of your semen through your diet. You know, healthy diet, fruits and vegetables. You can also avoid things like alcohol or processed foods. But I have another tip for you. Ladies, this one's for you. When he's going to ejaculate, bring him deep enough in your throat that you avoid your taste buds completely. I think it's a brilliant idea. And I know most of you are probably thinking, well, I'm going to gag. I'm going to choke on his penis. No, there's lots of tips for like anti-gagging tips. And one I can give you that. It's an interesting one. It's one that I can personally relate to quite a bit. So I'm anxious to jump into it with you guys. We're once again talking about stigma, but more specifically, stigma in parenting and sex work.
A dicey topic for many, indeed. I love it. I know that we got a video we're going to show everybody, and it kind of sparked a bit of conversation with us and some current things going on in real time right now. And I think it's the perfect introduction to people or for people in terms of what some of the challenges are when you're a parent and a sex worker or involved in the sex work industry, and kind of juggling, balancing, what do you say, what do you not say, who do you tell, who don't you tell, all the many, many questions that keep people up at night. Hopefully this can also give others some insight too. And I know you have some thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I'm really hoping that this episode, because a lot of the research that we've done, Emily has helped me personally compile. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what makes me laugh every time? Why I keep forgetting to say this to you. Every time I smile at the beginning of the episode, it's not fake. It's because you wave.
Feeling, because I say hi to the people. Funny.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
And I know you've dealt with both types of penises in your work life, but in your personal life, if you've experienced both, is there a difference? Is there a preference? Is one better than the other? Because my thought is no.
You know what? I have experienced both in my personal life. Gosh, it's been a while. Definitely. I have preferences. Let me dive in because I made a list of my preferences here. There are definite pros to being uncut, to keeping your turtleneck. And I feel like the people that are stigmatizing men are just missing out on all of this fun because it can replicate or supplement the need for lube, for example. Because if he's already been taught to pull it back and that skin is movable, then when he's erect and you're playing with it, that skin moves like a sheath over top of the muscle and everything of the penis.
We're tapping into the muses today, the Muse management team, all the girls. We got some input. It's tales from the tables, guys. We're diving into kinks, some of the craziest things that they've been involved in personally and at work. So we've got a lot of their submissions. We're going to read them, react to them a bit, and just give you guys kind of a bird's eye view of what happens inside Muse. I used to have a client that had a castration fetish. I would take the sharpest pair of scissors I could find from front desk, go under the milking table, and make the snip, snip sound as loudly as I could. I would graze the scissors up and down his shaft, threatening to cut off his dick.
Ooh, that's intense. Shit.
And you are doing this, sir, with a stranger.
With a
That's
stranger.
a lot of
Talk
trust.
about trust. Talk about trust and like consent communication to the utmost.
Absolutely.
Wow. It takes a lot to tongue tie me. That's a big wow.
Yeah. That's crazy. I would have never imagined. But I think a common thread through a lot of what we receive from our girls is trampoline type stuff, or impact play. So here's another one. I have a client who sits on the floor and puts his dick out so I can step on it and literally jump on it. Well, I got an artistic one for you next.
Ooh, I like this.
I have a client who once came into session with a canvas and tubes of paint. I picked a picture from the internet, and then he tried to recreate that same photo using his dick as the brush. Hilariously, hilariously, the final product turned out great and very similar to the reference picture.
Wow. Where's the art? Why isn't it in our staff room?
Maybe he wanted
We
to
need to keep penis art. It depends on the tone. If he's requesting that in a submissive manner, it wouldn't turn me on. I wouldn't want to do it at all. But if it was an order, it's like, this is what you're doing today. Like, strap me up. And I've experienced through my career, and it is a thrilling power trip to strap up. I mean, it is more exciting than using power tools for the first time. I'm like, I am the king. So
I can imagine it being very liberating, for sure. Like I can get that aspect to it. But you're right. I feel like we're born from the same mother. Like if it was approached in that way, okay, fine, I would do it. But that's the only thing I think would be like a big no.
Yeah, I agree with that one completely. I don't want to be dom. I just don't want to be dom. For me, this is going to sound so ironic. Hard no is massages for me. I don't ever want to feel like a massage attendant. I'm happily retired. We've got a special one. Riley, what are we doing today?
We have our second guest to the show. We're so excited to bring her in. Her name is Annie Temple. She's a sex worker, an activist, an author, and an intimacy coach, probably amongst more things. She's fascinating, and I can't wait to get into conversation with her.
You know, recreating those intimate moments with your partner. And it's literal coaching. It's literal teaching. Class is in session with sex workers all the time. And I swear the anti-sex work people so belittle that importance in society. I can't imagine any country anywhere in the world without that therapeutic available to people, not just men, but to people in general. It would be so imbalanced. It'd be so strange.
It's so weird how people think only men purchase sex. And of course, they are the largest, clientele in the market. But I mean, I've been
Oh, hey, welcome back to Just the Tip with Riley. So today we're talking about lasting longer, the dreaded phrase, premature ejaculation. Premature ejaculation affects 1 in 3 men. So this is a topic we need to discuss, guys. So today, your personal wing girl Riley's back for your climax control program. This program is going to consist of 7 tips, and the 7th one, guys, being the top tier in my opinion, so stick around to the end. All right, so let's dive into these 7 tips for climax control. Let's go. Strengthen your pelvic floor muscles by doing Kegels. For those of you who don't know how to do that, next time you're in the bathroom, cut off the flow of urine, release it, and cut it off again. Now you know what muscles you're trying to isolate. Or stand in front of the bathroom mirror and try to bring your balls up right into your guts without using your hands. A side benefit to doing this is as you age, it's going to help you maintain bladder control. Don't approach sex with a failing mindset. Negative self-talk can quickly spiral.
Okay. This comes from Today I F***ed Up. Today I F***ed up by making a Lego butt plug.
I literally was just joking about Legos, but not butt plugs.
No.
Oh, I just thought about it. Sorry, sensory.
No. The little pegs on top, the corners on the side.
Everything about this is so funny, man.
Oh no.
Well, I know stepping on a Lego hurts, and I know
Okay, guys,
suppositories aren't fun.
apart inside.
It
I
will.
think this is gonna, the shock meter will be going up.
Like a pine cone to
Okay.
the gooch.
Here we go. When I was 13 to 14 and I
Right.
didn't know how to masturbate, I'm a guy, and I used to put objects in my ass for pleasure. It began with pens, marbles, etc.
I'm so sorry. I want to be respectful, but I'm trying so hard to keep a straight face.
Marbles. It began with pens, marbles, etc. I really want.
This episode is going to be bananas, quite literally. And how can we do a whole episode on bananas? Well, let's see if we can. But it started talking last week, Emily and I, during recording, and I was telling her one story in particular about a client wanting to come up have a session to get over a fear of bananas. So he wanted his muse to force feed him a banana. And of course, I found him a suitable muse and he had his session, but it got my mind thinking, like, what was it about the banana? Was it the texture? Was it that it was phallic shaped? Was it a bad experience? And I mean, I may never know the answers to this, but as I was telling Emily this story, she's like, I've got a banana story too. And so here we go. She's dying.
This is lives in a nutshell, because behind the scenes of owning a rub and tug is bananas. Banana shit happens all the time. It is crazy. It is wild. Or sometimes it is literal.
Yes.
It's just, I've got the giggles when you're like, let's see if we can do it.
It's like,
God,
you can really fill a whole episode. And you're like, yes, I have stories.
Bananas in different ways and different, I guess, orifices and all kinds of different things. But why bananas? I think I was saying this to you earlier today when we were chit-chatting about this episode coming up, where I was like, when I think of women and like food play, especially if it gets into like penetration and insertion, my mind automatically goes to cucumbers. I feel like that was like a porno favorite, right? So like, was it, I don't remember that ever being in a Playboy. Not that I've read every episode of Playboy, but like, I don't think they did like a harvest episode in the fall. Like, right, was eyewitness to all these cucumbers and vaginas, like condom on, cucumber. Like, but for men, it seems to be that many are like, banana. Like that so fast. My first encounter with Banana Jay was he was seeing somebody else, and in part of his exhibitionist stuff was a bit of humiliation, but not to the point of degrading him. He really liked girls giggling and laughing with him, not at him, but with him. No pointing and being like, haha, but just like high school girly, very like, God, look what he's doing kind of thing. And so I was introduced to Jay with the door open, and he was on all fours on the massage table, and I could just see about this much of something on his butt at the end. And she was like, Jay, tell Emily all about what's going on right now or whatever. And my instruction was to kind of walk behind and like pull on it, like put a little bit to the ground, just check it out. It's really in there. And as I got behind him and I'm hearing his story, it's a fucking banana. And the top part, Riley, tell everyone what special stuff we've got going on today.
So we are going to end on a high note with our third guest to the show. We are going to have on Kenneth Play. And Kenneth, we initially saw from our friend's show, from the Hard or Soft show, and he captivated us both immediately. He has a lot of sex knowledge that we cannot wait to dive into with him. But I will give you some background on him for those of you that don't know. He's an international sex expert and educator, sex hacker, author, and has been featured in Men's Health, Cosmopolitan, Huffington Post, and now Muse on the Mic.
Because they teach you a lot about their neuroscience, what internal stimulation requires a certain level of pressure in order for the brain to register as a sensation. And it requires for the receiver to truly let go, let the body do what it wants to do without inhibiting. And there's an emotional component of it. And on top of it,